Check. 1, 2, 3. All right, we are starting. What's up, Justyn? How we doing today?
Good. How about yourself, man?
Doing good. Thanks for coming on to Couch Surfing. This is I think my 9th episode.
Yeah, I think it was. I just got done with the 7. Wait, yeah, number number 8.
You were on Across the Room, where you were.
No, I watched I was listening to Across the Room, and
Okay.
I watched the full, or I listened to the full last Couch Surfing.
Okay.
With Brandon.
That's thanks. What did you think of it?
It was dope.
Appreciate it.
It was really dope, dog. It was dope. It was cool hearing the stories of other people. I've always liked hearing that, and his experiences were enlightening, and I definitely felt like I had a connection to certain things that he was saying, like maybe had similar situations, or if not, had a different outlook of what was going on.
Relatable, right?
Yeah, definitely relatable.
Okay. So I know you listened to Brennan's, but you said you had let's just say how we met each other. Actually, my girlfriend is actually friends with you. Met you a long time ago, right?
Yeah, when I first moved out of my foster mother's home, I moved down to Garden Grove or Santa Ana, and she was one of the first people I met that I made friends with in the area through smoking weed. It's crazy, you know.
Cannabis, as you can see, there's a theme on this channel. But yeah, you met her, and then you guys were obviously friends for I don't know how many long years.
It's been like 10 plus years
for
sure. At least
years.
I lived at the last where I first met her. I lived there for 10 years. So it's been like 2 or 3 since then. So yeah, 10 plus years for sure.
Okay, that's a long time. And then you got a job where she worked at, right?
Yeah, Whedon.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was trying to get a dispensary job, and it wasn't going very well. Back or at least when it first started coming around here medically, it was very difficult to get a dispensary job if you weren't, or at least from my perspective, it was hard as a male to get a dispensary job if you didn't know anybody that owned the dispensary or worked at the dispensary like directly.
Which was like typical, right? With like trap shops
and
stuff like that.
All
it was
day,
always
dude.
females.
Yeah, if you weren't a girl, you weren't allowed there. And if you were a dude who was working there, it's either you were the owner or you were the owner's homie or something of that nature, and you had to be there. So I was like, oh man, like I didn't really know anybody that had shops like that. So I just, started going to dispensaries. Eventually Victoria was like, oh yeah, I'm working at this place. It's hiring for drivers. You like driving, you've been Ubering for so long, just hop on it. Let's see how it goes.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, thanks. And then thanks to her, we met there. And
yeah, it was cool, man. It was.
Yeah. Worked there for how long?
Unfortunately, I only worked there for like 6 months. It was I got hired kind of like the midway through COVID, or right at the beginning of COVID, and then right when COVID like was in the full swing of things, and they started letting go of everyone. I was one of the newer drivers, so obviously last in, first out type of deal with a lot of jobs.
Yeah, and then where are you now?
Right now I work at Planet 13.
Planet 13, that's
OC.
OC. Yeah.
I feel you, man.
Yeah.
I feel you.
I usually plug my dispensary on here. That's why all the time. Brings in business. Tip's been a little low lately.
I feel you, dog. That's not just at yours. It's at all dispensaries for.
It's just that residual of 420. How everyone's just loaded for at least a couple weeks.
See, I don't even think it's so much that, man. I think just with whatever's going on with society these days, everyone's fucking broke. And
wow. That's interesting.
I definitely try to, give everyone the benefit of the doubt, because there are just the stingy people who don't want to tip their service provider of any means or fashion,
Yeah.
But man, like it sucks that not everyone can afford to do it, and I definitely know that some people think that drivers get paid for that, like are definitely paid pretty good, and people who work in dispensaries like as a bud tender, and that's not always the case. We usually make closer to minimum wage, and then we're relying on the tips to make our living.
We are, yeah. I mean, we shouldn't, but we are.
That's the case. Yeah, I mean, that's California,
Yeah,
and it's
that's true.
That's true. It sucks, man. It sucks to be it, but that's the hustle. If you want to live here, you have to, go in at that price range and just try to work your way up.
Yeah, that's right. So what was your first job in cannabis? Was actually weeding?
Yeah, weeding. Weeding would be my first legit job in cannabis.
Wow.
I used after I started, well, not even. I had like a little trap shop job where one of the homies needed help making concentrates. And they were like, all right, you're smart. You definitely don't look like someone who'll blow yourself up. So here, this is what we need you to do. Here, we're just going to help you fold over the patties and make them look nice.
Well, qualifications don't seem too high.
So it was like, all right, cool. It's not too hard. They were like, here, you can smoke. Don't fuck anything up.
Yeah.
And you're good. Just fold it into a perfect, nice little square and we'll be all good. And I was like, all right, cool. And eventually, I started learning how they were making the concentrates and all that stuff. And I was like, all right, cool. This is actually pretty dope.
So you're pretty knowledgeable in that kind of stuff.
Loosely. I wouldn't say professionally, but, I've always been someone that was a little too smart for my own good. So
more of a doer than a...
I can pick it up.
Yeah.
I'll pick up things and I'll retain it. And then if it's something I'm really interested in, then I'll stick with it. If not, then it's there for future needs if need be.
Okay. That's nice. So you said you grew up in Santa Ana. So like... Oh, no, you didn't grow up in Santa Ana. Where did you actually grow up?
Yeah, no, I grew up in Santa Ana. I was born in Newport. Was in... to my knowledge, I was taken away from my mother at a young age. So I stayed in Orange County's foster system.
Oh, wow.
For my whole life, basically. I bounced around from a couple foster homes for a little while and then eventually found the one that I stayed with for the next, what was it, like 20? No.
So how does that whole system work? Because I don't know. I'm not too familiar with...
as bad as it is, I definitely should be a little more knowledgeable about it, but I'm not really... as knowledgeable about it.
Just the experience for you. How did it work when you were doing it? And then foster homes in itself. What are foster homes like?
Okay, so is
it like a group home?
Well, no, not even a group home, or kind of, sort of. So basically, it would be a situation where you as an adult would have your home that's perfectly viable, and for whatever reason you don't have kids or you can't have kids, but you want to help out kids who are not yours, who are in need,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you then take in these children and you are their parents for the most part and you raise them, and the government then gives you money for raising the children and taking care of the children. Like, it's as bad as it is, it's not something that most people should do for free or any of that. Like, you should be paid for your efforts, but you can't expect anybody to raise a child and not have money. Like, that's why I don't have kids right now. I'm broke as fuck. I don't want to bring a kid into that. It's not fair. It's not fair to anybody, especially not the kid who did nothing to deserve that. So basically they like help out the individual who chose to help these kids, and the kid will either spend their life with that parent, eventually get adopted out. So then that whole monetary, I don't know exactly, but to my knowledge, and I'm probably wrong, but I don't think so. I think once the child is adopted, the parent no longer gets like an income from the government, or it may be when they're 18. And I'm not 100% on it, but at a certain point they stop giving them money for it.
So foster home doesn't necessarily mean you have a home. It's just like a place you go to until you are actually adopted.
Yes. So you could go to a foster home and the family there could just be like, you know what, we love this kid. We want to keep him. We're going to raise him like he's our own, and we're going to adopt him out.
And are most foster homes, are they usually like is there usually more than one child in there?
It depends. At least the one that I was at, yeah, there was multiple children. I had
like an abundance, or is it just like a very few select?
I mean, I know there are definitely some places that are outlandish with like hella kids in a small house and all that.
Of course, yeah.
But mine, it wasn't that bad. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4 or 5 foster siblings.
Okay.
So, and then my foster mom had one child of her own. who was like when I was there, he was like older than us, so he was like
taking care of you guys also,
kind of helping, helping
okay.
out. So it was cool to see that
and this
dynamic.
was in Santa Ana also.
Yeah, this is actually around the corner. She lives she lives real close, dog.
So do you go see her?
Oh yeah, all day, dog. Is even with how things kind of played out and why I had to move out, I'm still cordial. Like I said before, like I genuinely am a nice person. I try, if I will or if I wish ill will on you, then you really fucked up and pissed me off. And I don't get pissed off for like nothing. Like it's genuine shit. Like anybody should. So even after that, it's like, okay, I got over it. I'm an adult. I saw what happened. It's cool.
Okay,
Let's
so
move past it.
Yeah, you're talking about a situation. Would you care to elaborate, or is that something?
No, I don't mind.
Okay, well, let's just start from the beginning. So, did you have more than one foster home?
Yes. I was. So I have ADHD. As a kid, it was really bad. I was really like hyper. It was hard for me to focus. To my knowledge, I think I went through like 4 foster homes in a weekend.
Oh my goodness!
Before I got to the last one.
And they told you they just couldn't handle you or whatnot? Or?
Yeah, basically. Okay. I mean, I was young. I didn't
understand what was going on.
I didn't fully understand.
They were just
what
like, you gotta
on.
leave. Or
they were like, hey, we're gonna move you to a different place, basically. And it was like, okay, cool.
Were these any do you remember where they were around Orange County, or was it?
Yeah, loosely. At least the last one, the last one, but the one before that, I kind of remember it. I definitely know it was somewhere. I mean, I don't want to disclose the exact location, but somewhere down South Bristol. I want to say by Thornton somewhere.
Okay, I was just saying city.
Oh, Santa Ana.
They're all Santa Ana.
Yeah, it's mostly Santa Ana. At least the ones that I remember are Santa Ana for sure.
So it's not a Santa Ana. Is it a Santa Ana foster home
program?
No. Or is they just try to keep you in the same area?
So what happened was, or at least to my knowledge, I think they try to keep me in the area where my mom was, because it wasn't like I got taken away and it was like, all right, away with you, lady, you have no more rights. It was like, okay, she's getting her shit together of whatever was going on at the time, which I honestly don't fully understand, and I should look into it, but it's... Oh man, it's crazy. It'd be crazy to look into that.
Okay, well, I mean, you don't need to.
Oh no. We can talk about it, but it'd be a later story, later down the road once there's more context.
Okay.
Once there's more context.
Okay, so just start off like when you got put into your first foster home. How would you feel just moving from like somewhere so comfortable to like now you're in a place where you don't know people and things are different?
Well, see, I wouldn't even really be able to answer that like that just because I didn't know any different.
Okay.
It wasn't like I was a 3 or 4 year old bouncing from house to house. I was like, well, no, I don't want to say 3 or 4 because I was probably like 3 or 4 when it happened, but I wasn't like cognitive to what was going on. I was just a little kid, just like, all right, whatever, fuck it. Like, I didn't really know about my mom, so it wasn't a thing at the time. But eventually,
I'm not talking about your mom. I'm talking about you getting into your first homes. You don't even remember that.
No. I remember. Yeah, I don't remember the first few. I only remember the last one that I was at that I stayed for like the rest of my life, and then the one before that, I honestly only remember where it was kind of at. Because I remember seeing the fucking park that was right there. And it was like, oh, shit, I know that park. And then I would always go back
some type of nostalgia factor just hit in, huh? Like
yeah.
Like,
It brings back that memory.
So moving on, you're in this, and then you finally get to this house. And how old are you when you actually get to the last house that you're actually supposed to be at?
I want to say 5.
5?
Like 5.
So are you still like able to at least kind of be coherent about things that are going on?
Well, at that point, yeah, I'm starting to like realize. Let me think about it. Let me backtrack a little bit. I don't want to say 5. I want to say 4 and give her the benefit of the doubt because it was a while. It was definitely I've been with her for a good majority of my life, but I was cognitive of what was going on. I knew, okay, this is a new place. Who are these people? Me being black and white myself, it was like the first time I had seen a black family. So I was like, what the hell?
Oh, so you were adopted by a black family?
Yeah, I was adopted by
or
single
at least
mother.
taken in.
Yeah, taken in by the same person. The last family that I was with, which was a single lady, older black lady from the South. She adopted a bunch of kids. I don't want to say everyone, but a good portion of the kids in the home, or she specialized in special needs children. And because I had ADHD and all the other parents were like, nah, fuck that. We don't want to deal with that. They were like, all right, he's not developmentally disabled. He just can't fucking sit still. Can you deal with that? And then she was like, yeah, I got a solution for that shit. Ass beans.
Oh, yeah?
Nah, that's fucking right.
Well,
I mean, obviously there's discipline, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So it wasn't anything over, like, abusive?
Nah.
Okay.
No abusive. I would never, that's not, I wouldn't wish that upon anybody. And I hope that, I know it happens.
No, I'm not saying, like, it happened to you. I'm just saying, like, because I just, you know, you hear those horror stories about what happened in
back in the day?
Parents and all that stuff.
Hell no. That didn't happen to me. It was definitely more of a strict household. Like, we weren't allowed to do a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, let me not fucking, water it down. I definitely got my ass beat for being a dumbass. But that's just for being a fucking dumbass, you know? Like, when you fuck up, as you should, like, you should get disciplined. You should know as a child when you do something wrong, that was wrong. These were the mistakes. This is the punishment for the mistakes.
So it sounds like your foster lady had just some, like, this old school values she brought from the South, because obviously California is not like that.
Oh yeah, hell no,
yeah.
Hell no, dude. And it's messed up. I definitely wonder what would have happened if that wouldn't have been the mentality growing up. But I think being black, I'm black and white myself, mixed, but being black to everyone else in a all Hispanic area, it wasn't the safest idea for me to just be doing shit. So she was extra strict on my ass and my siblings' asses, so we wouldn't get mixed up in all the little gangs in the neighborhood, like get in trouble doing dumb shit, because that was like the expectation of people back then. Like, even now, it's still like, you know, I'm happy to say I'm 30 years old. I'm a black man and I'm still alive. I've never been arrested. I've never been shot at. I have no record with the police. My record's clean as fuck. That's not a lot of black people's
case.
It's not the luxury that they can say. And I definitely attribute that to the way my foster mom was on our ass. Every time we did fuck up, if it was at school, she heard about it. She was best friends with all our school. All our school teachers were best friends with her.
So continuing on, so how are your foster siblings? How was that experience too? Like, I'm sure you developed some. Did you develop any, like, serious relationships with them?
Oh yeah, me and my foster brothers are all cool.
Do you still talk to them to the day?
Yeah. Okay, so like I said before, a vast majority of them were, by designation by the court, were developmentally disabled in some way, shape, or form.
Okay.
So, that being said, me and one other were not developmentally disabled in any way, shape, or form, other than just behavioral problems. But when you really look back at it, should a 5-year-old be just sitting there not doing shit, or should they be bouncing around doing all kinds of shit like a kid should be? So it really just it turned out, or at least the way I see it, is the people that I went to before just didn't want to deal with a little more active child. They didn't have the patience for it, especially considering it wasn't their child. So they're just like, nah, I don't want to deal with that shit. Get him out of here. So me and the other sibling were we grew really close, and we also helped out with our other siblings. So whenever, like, at school, if anything went down, like I have 2 older foster siblings that are my age or close to my age. They're like so I'm 30, one's either 32. No, wait, it's December. Like 31, 32, and then the next one's either 32 or 33. So when we were in school, we all went to the same fucking school for the most part. And if the oldest one was the one that definitely had the development problems, but we were on everyone's ass that fucked with him because we went to school in, what was it like? I went to Valley High School, and then I went to like.
Not too familiar with it.
It's right. Oh, you're not. It's in Santa Ana. In Santa Ana, off of it's right here actually off of Bristol.
Oh, okay.
And then McFadden down the street a little more down like for Rate or some shit.
Okay, yeah, I just want to, like, I'm from the farm land.
Okay.
So, like,
No,
I know you guys are, like, 6 schools in one district. For us, it was 1 school, 1 district. So,
oh, shit.
Yeah, it's very different out here. That's kind of why I like it. It's a lot faster.
Yeah, definitely fast-paced, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, so you guys, that's cool that you guys actually, like, looked out for him, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Some people would be very embarrassed just to be, like, you know, associated with him. But, like I just hear stories of that happening personally, and then, but it's just cool that you look out for someone who's like, and that's basically family now, right?
Yeah, no, it's definitely family. Like those are my brothers and shit,
exactly.
and it's, I understand why people would, you know, oh man, you know, people that in their actual family where they have someone that has that problem or that situation or whatever the proper term would be for it, I understand why they could feel embarrassed, but when you like really look back at it, those people that are embarrassed, I don't think they're embarrassed for like the reasons that most people would think, you know, just for a general, oh man, like I'm embarrassed of what he's doing. It's like, I'm embarrassed that I can't help him not do that. Or I'm embarrassed because I can't do something, you know?
Yeah.
So it's definitely, I think there's more to it. But then again, I definitely try to give people the benefit of the doubt.
You always want to, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's always something you kind of have to do.
Yeah, nowadays.
So you know, growing up from foster care into like adulthood, okay. Well, you're growing up and then something happens.
Oh, it was cool.
Sure,
I'll go through that. So, you know, I get there, I'm growing up. Eventually, you know, I start doing visits with my mom. My mom was eventually.
So she's all better now, or is it's just getting to the point where she's getting better?
I don't even really think there was. I don't think it was. She wasn't healthy, if you will. I think it was she had a child. Someone reported that she wasn't capable of taking care of said child. Basically called Child Protective Services, and they were like, all right, take the fucking child.
Oh, so you think she was fit to keep you? So it's just something, circumstance. She probably could have been smoking cannabis and
and some shit happened back in the 90s. Like this was in the 90s, back before, you know, smoking weed was cool or whatever the case may be. Even if there was hardcore drugs, whatever the case may be. I honestly haven't tried to dive into it as much. Just because I don't want to, you know, I have good memories of my mom. I don't want to taint the good memories with, you know, God forbid, your mom was a drug addict. She was doing drugs. That's how she died. Nah. I don't want to hear all that shit. Get that out of my face. Don't taint my don't taint my positivity with your negativity. Don't put that in the world, please. You know, type of deal. Like, be nice about it. You don't want to talk shit about anybody, especially if they're not alive, to defend themselves.
No, yeah. Oh, is your mom?
Yeah. So
sorry.
No worries. I didn't even get to that part. Yeah. Oh, okay. So, I'm growing up. I'm going through, you know, visiting with my foster mom or visiting my real mom while living at my foster mom's house. You said it yourself. It sounds like your foster mom was a Southern person. Hell yeah, she was definitely Southern. Before I even say it, I don't want to badmouth her in any means on the off chance she hears it, but I don't think it sat well that I was half white and my half white mother was still trying to be in my life. So I think it like didn't sit well with her, and you know, visitations and everything with my mom was, at least to my memory, it wasn't always the easiest. There was always a lot of hoops that needed to be jumped through for things to go. Mind you, I wasn't the perfect kid, you know. I wasn't the nicest kid, and if she does want to say, oh, you know, you weren't always behaving, so that was your punishment not to see your mom. Okay, cool if that's what you think, but I don't think you should punish any child by taking away their parent. That's not cool.
Especially if you thought she was, well, I mean.
Yeah. Also,
too, man, like, you got to understand, too, that probably, like, you know, you did get taken away from her. So she's not looking at her in the best light either.
Yeah,
she's not looking at her like, oh, that's like she's looking at her as like, oh, she wasn't fit to take away her kid, so why is she coming back now, or like why is
Correct.
she trying to make things better now? When how old were you when this was all happening?
What do you mean before I got taken away?
No, how old were you when she actually started coming back to like visit, like getting visitations?
Like,
Were you younger or were you
no,
still
I was
older?
younger.
Oh,
I
okay.
definitely knew I was at least cognitive enough to know, okay, I'm in a temporary home right now,
Mm-hmm.
and my mom's just trying to get her work it out so I can go back to my mom.
Okay. Yeah.
Eh,
Okay. So my bad. I thought
no,
you
no,
were a little
no,
bit older.
no,
You
no, no,
know?
no, no. I mean, I was like I said, like 4 or 5 when I eventually got to this place. But I was at least I've always been a little too smart for my own good. So I at least understood that to the extent of, okay, I'm in a situation. This isn't my home. I know I have a mom, but she's not here right now.
Yeah. You know the basic thing. You know
Yeah,
what's going on.
yeah,
You
it's
know,
like
you
a
know
little
A,
kid.
B,
Yeah,
C, and
yeah,
D.
just
Yeah.
just enough to be like, okay, cool. Let's see how this goes out, and let's hope for the best.
Maybe more self-aware.
Yeah.
Than like smart. Then. You
Yeah.
know, like just because you know what the deal is. You know.
Correct.
Like, you know. So So is there like a dispute that's going on between like your actual foster mom and then like your mom, your biological mother?
I think what was going on was, like you said, she saw her in a negative light
Yeah.
and didn't think she was going to be able to get her shit together and be able to take care of a child. And like I said, she made it very difficult. It wasn't the easiest of things to do visits with my mom. Or if, like, for whatever case, had an experience at school, at least to my knowledge, it was hard to tell her. I had to tell my mom, like, hey, I'm doing something at school. And she'd be like, oh, how long have you known about that? Oh, I've known about it for a week. I told, my foster mom. She was supposed to tell you. She didn't.
Oh, okay.
Like,
so it was one of those.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about. She was kind of like trying to like separate you guys, but without separating
exactly
you guys. Yeah.
And I again, I don't know, and I've never actually gone to like be like, all right, tell me what the hell happened. I'm an adult. Tell me, because I don't think I could. If I were to go there and talk to her, I'd probably get cursed out. If not swung at, probably. There would definitely be hostility. Like, I don't think that's definitely not something I believe I could go and talk to them about.
So it was like, I'm doing this for your own good type of deal. Kinda.
At least from what I think.
Well, her perspective.
Exactly.
Least. Yeah.
Exactly.
So. And how did you feel about like all this going on?
I mean, I didn't like it. I was on my mom's side. I mean, I understood, okay, my mom doesn't have, all her shit together, because she was telling me, she was like, hey, I really want you to live with me. I'm trying to do this, that, and the third. Like, she was open with me with what was going on, but there was no, what would be the right word? She never had was never at the government's standards of where she needed to be to get me back before she passed away. Because she inevitably passed away when I was 9 years old. So
Okay.
I was in my foster home for 4 to 5 years, and give or take.
Okay.
So
she's foster home. So it's 4 to 5 years. She passes away. Do you mind if I ask what she passed away from?
I was told bronchitis or pneumonia.
Bronchitis or pneumonia.
It might have been something worse than that. I'm not sure. Again,
So
I
it's
try
a
not
disease.
Yeah, something of that nature.
Yeah. Bacteria, I think that happened.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And then what were your feelings exactly when?
Oh man, I lost full composure out the window. I mean, again, I was like you said, self-aware enough to again know, okay, I have a mom. My foster siblings also have their moms. They may not be able to visit with their mom on a regular basis, but I do, and that's cool as fuck. It's kind of fucked up to say it like that, but I think most people would understand where I'm coming from.
No, I think you should get it. Yeah, you were lucky enough to at least have someone there.
Exactly, who wanted to try, and then when it happened, it was like, okay, so the easiest way to compare it, and it's a horrible comparison, but hopefully you'll understand it. It was like losing Christmas as a 4-year-old. Because as a 4-year-old, Christmas is just the presents and the experience.
Okay.
If you were to take away the presents and the experience, what is Christmas? Just another fucking day.
And that's how you define her as, like, her passing is what? That's how you
It was like losing, like, a major fucking holiday. Like the best thing. Like, because living in the foster home, it was cool. It was better than nothing. Like, I definitely had a better life than some people. Because, like you said, you hear the stories. I try to hope for the best, but I know those stories are true. A lot of people got shit on by the foster system.
Yeah.
And it sucks ass. I was lucky enough that I didn't get shit on that bad or shit on at all. It just wasn't the most nicest of experiences to my liking, you know, considering how she was raised and where she was raising us with, being so Southern and old school.
Yeah. So, there's some friction going on.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
Can see. So, what age do you actually move out?
I was inevitably told to move out when I was
told to move out.
Yeah, I was told to move out.
Oh, okay.
I was told that I had to vacate the house when I was 19. I was
by
19.
her?
Yeah, by my foster mom. So my mom passed. So when my mom passed away,
Yeah, this is
at
10
9.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
So
just life.
Okay. So from 9 years old to 19, is everything pretty kosher? Is everything pretty good between you guys? Like
Everything was for the No, we were bumping heads. I was definitely
probably more outspoken. Didn't
Definitely.
take shit as much. Or?
Yeah, and I don't want to say there was racism, but there was definitely a little bit of low-key racism coming from the South.
Okay.
I was the perfect little white boy. I was definitely told that. Like, if I was given a bottle of a drink that someone else drank, I was self-aware enough to fucking wipe that shit off with my shirt before I drank it. And one time she saw me and was like, what the fuck, just drink the soda. If not, give it back to me.
Okay.
And I got in trouble. She's like, you're just trying to be the perfect little white boy, you know, being all clean and shit. And it's like, no, I'm just wiping off the fucking bottle.
All right, so
yeah, you know,
no,
like
I understand, but it's just funny to me that like she would think that. Well, considering that she was probably yeah.
Old
Okay,
school.
might have to cut that out.
No, you're good.
So she's expressing these little bit of like, you know, I guess racist tendencies towards, you know, so I'm guessing like the racism doesn't just fall one way with people, right?
Oh hell no.
No.
That shit goes everywhere. It's fuck, dude, it's bad. It's basically to the point where it's starting to become, or I'm noticing it's not as bad. Nah, fuck that. I'm in California. It's I'm just luxury. I'm privileged. It's not as bad here. At least from where I'm sitting in Orange County, I don't notice it like super bad in other places.
Yeah, but if you're going down to where there's more predominantly full, right, black people, you think that there'd be a little bit more stigma there?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Even growing up elaborating on the growing up part.
Okay.
Like, so after my mom passed, I lost full. I was like, fuck, dude, this shit sucks. I don't have a mom. I'm stuck in this foster home now. I mean, yeah, it's a family, but it's not my family. It's not my mom. Like,
exactly.
You know, that was the only thing I knew.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I knew I had an aunt and all that other shit, but it sucked to lose my mom. So my whole outlook on the world was definitely tainted, and I definitely went about how I was in life with a wall up, just like, oh man, like if we're gonna be cool and you're cool with me in school, then we're good. But as soon as you say some smart shit to me, all bets off. I have no filter. I'm just gonna say the first thing that pops in my mind, as soon as it pops in my mind.
So can you elaborate on that? What do you mean by that?
Just like if someone said some.
So can you give us an example?
Like if someone was like, "You're a dumbass."
Oh,
like
so
if a girl, like I had no filter, dude. Like one time I got on some girl really bad. I was actually really cool with her, and when she told me what I did, I was really sorry about it because I didn't know what I did at first. She had said some shit to me like, "Oh man, I'm jealous of how stupid you are," or some shit like that, and I was like, "Well, I'm jealous of your fucking mustache."
Yeah.
just not thinking. Just I'm used to growing up with boys.
To be totally honest, that doesn't sound too bad, but it just seems like
as a little girl in high school, she took that shit to heart, dude.
But maybe in like the tone you kind of told her, probably maybe like it was a little bit more
aggressive. Well, no, I didn't. I definitely didn't say fucking mustache. I was like, I'm jealous of your. I'm jealous of your mustache, and she like took it to heart. Being a Hispanic girl, you tend to have
a little more hair than
there's a little more hair than no more. So she was definitely sensitive about that being in high school, and she took it to heart and got super mad. And I didn't even it. It took the whole school year for it to register that I had called her out on having a mustache, and that's why she was fucking pissed at me. And it wasn't even like, oh, I like you or anything like that. We were just really cool friends.
But maybe that's not really your fault though. Either,
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying like what you probably shouldn't have said that in the first.
Nah, definitely, that's fucked up. Yeah, that's fucked up to say.
At the same time, too, like you're coming from a lot of like, as much as we like to say like I make light of like what had happened to you.
Yeah.
Right? There's still trauma there, bro.
No,
You're
definitely
still taken away from your mom. So like, I guess. Most of us can understand, like, okay, like maybe it's not that. Maybe we understand why you would do something like that, or not understand how you feel about your emotions, because it sounds like is old school parents too don't give a fuck about how you feel.
No,
there's no feelings. There's no talking to feelings. It's definitely the parents are the bridge to that gap, because they're obviously a little bit more. It's more intimate with your parent.
Yeah.
Grandparents are definitely away from you most of the time, because I was raised by, and I'm not comparing my life to yours, but for 4 years I was with my grandparents too, and it was kind of the same deal. And it took me, and I don't want to pat myself on the back, but it took me like
not do that shit, dog.
Taking all the shit from them so much, but handling it like it didn't bother me, for them to like, or like me to just be like, all right, like I'm just gonna go do my own thing, for them to kind of understand like you can't like treat people a certain way, or like, because like I would just like, if they treat me a certain way, I'd just leave. I'd just be like, okay, I'm gone. Like I don't want to deal with this anymore. Yeah. And I don't have to deal with this anymore. I'm 18. I pay rent. Like I'm gone.
That's inevitably what I did. I was like, dealing with the shit, and just being self-aware, a little more self-aware than I should have. And eventually, my foster mom was like, you know what? You're out doing drugs. You're never home. Like, this is what I think you're doing. Mind you, she didn't know I had a second job. At the time, right when I had graduated high school, I got a job at McDonald's at first, and was working at place.
Whoa.
Sorry.
I'm going to cut that out, too. I don't like McDonald's, but they definitely sponsor us, so.
Okay.
I'm trying to get a Damien meal.
Oh, that should be lit. Not McDonald's as a corporation, just that specific...
The franchise.
No, that store. That store, if it is, the franchise, then I guess. That store specifically sucks. Even now, 20 plus years later, it still fucking sucks, dude. The customer service sucks there.
Is the one like right up the street right
here? Dude, it's the one
looks brand new, though.
Yeah, that's the thing. But it's still just, I don't know. I don't fucking know. That's why I stopped working there.
Okay.
But I was working at McDonald's, and, I'm going to SAC at the time. And the homegirl was like, hey, I got a job at Victoria's Secret. They're looking for people to stock the night shift. I was like, fuck it, dude. I need another job. I'm just working at McDonald's. I'm 17 years old. I just graduated high school. I'm in college now. Like, I need money. Let's do it. So I took the job, but I didn't tell anybody, because I was like, why do I need to tell you? I just turned 18. I can legally do whatever the fuck I want. As long as I pay you the money you ask me for, then we're good. And
I kind of disagree with that, but I understand.
I mean, to at least to the extent where it was like I wasn't like, hey, I'm out doing drugs. I definitely was coming home, like riding my bike, like, in a uniform and shit.
There's a difference between coming home at 2 p.m. and 2 a.m. So like,
true.
I don't know that discrepancy. And how you feel about how, but you were young at the
time.
Yeah,
no, nowadays, fuck that. You better let me know what the fuck you're doing. What the hell? Like, just common courtesy. But at the time, mind you, I don't want to use it as a crutch, but after everything that did happen, like, it definitely, like you said, it fucked with me.
Yeah.
And it definitely changed my outlook. It had my outlook all fucked up. So I was definitely trying to do everything on my own. And I was, like I said, I was already bumping heads with my foster mom, so I got the second job because I was looking for a way out.
Okay.
I already had, my spidey senses were tingling, dog. It was like, dog, she's going to fire you and kick you the hell out of here. You better go not fire me, but kick you out.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so you better go find something. And I just found something about, a month after I got the Victoria's Secret job. Before I could even finish training, she was like, all right, you got to be out. By the time you're 19, you need to leave.
And I'm sure it's because you came home one night. At
Super late.
Okay.
Super late after training.
And so she told you, okay, so she didn't even ask you. It was just, hey, you're...
Well, when she said that, I then asked her why. I was like, why? And she's like, because you're out all the time. You're never home. You're out at all night, times of the night doing, drugs and smoking and all that other shit. And I was like, no, I have a job at Victoria's Secret.
Okay.
The homegirl Layla hooked me up. And then she was like, well, you still got to go.
Damn.
Till you're 19. It's coming up.
I'm sorry, man. It's that stubborn old schoolness, too. It's like,
exactly.
once they say something, they just got to follow through with it,
Nah, but that shit rubbed off on me because, like, a week later, I was like, all right, bitch, I'm out.
She didn't ask you to come back, did she?
See, there was the bumping heads, dude. There was a lot of, like, negative shit.
Yeah.
Going back in time. When I graduated high school, I graduated with a 4.0. I played water polo and swam in high school. I did football and basketball, all kinds of shit. I was an athlete back in the day. Still am. Not as much. But I wanted to go like to a 4-year college and shit. The only reason why I didn't go away to college is because they were like, you're not ready for that. We don't think you could mentally...
Who said that?
My foster mom. My foster mom and her son at the time, or her son, who was like in his 20s or 20s, 30s, whatever the case may be, I don't remember, was like, nah, we don't think he could hang in college. He'd be kicked out. Like there was no faith given in there. She was just like not willing to do what needed to be done to get me like what I needed. So they were like, hey, we can send him to college. She was like, nah.
That fucking sucks, honestly. Yeah. That's terrible, especially when you don't have someone behind you. So, after that, you leave, and where do you go? What's the first place you go to?
In that week of being told, my neighbor, one of my best friends, the dude who lived across the street from me, his sister worked at a Salvation Army by Mile Square Park, and someone had came in there and was like, hey, can I leave flyers here for my property? I rent rooms. And he had told his sister what happened to me. And they kind of knew how my relationship was with my foster mom.
Okay.
And she just, as soon as she heard it, she was like, I got the perfect dude. Here's his number. Give him a call. And called. And that's why I was out in a week. And she called me like, what was it, the very next day. And she was like, hey, what's going on? And I basically gave her the rundown. Hey, my foster mom's kicking me out. She said I have till I turn 19. That's in about a month or two. What can I do? And she's like, this is your rent. You can move in as soon as possible. I was like, all right,
that's awesome.
Peace. The homie had a truck and he helped me out. I was like, all right, I'm out. Bye.
You're still, and then, so, oh shit, I'm bleeding.
You good? You need a Band-Aid, my friend?
I think so.
Once I got the call from the lady, I asked her where was the location. And she said it was in Santa Ana, Garden Grove, like off of Euclid or some shit.
Yeah, it's right there.
Yeah. So I went and checked it out and was like, all right, cool. Here's my money. Take my money. Like I said, I'd already been working at Victoria's Secret for a little while. So I'd been stacking the paper on top of whatever my foster mom was asking for, food and rent and all that other shit. And once I got there, I just started to fucking full send it, man. I had, I forgot. I had a job at the Angel Stadium. I got a job at the Angel Stadium, dog. I think it was... Oh, dog, that was a good job. I had that shit for like 9 years.
Damn, bro.
I only left because I was looking for a full-time job at a... when did I leave? I left... now I remember. I had left to get a full-time job at a label company doing their like what is it, warehouse shit, like for shipping and receiving.
Okay.
And then one day on my way to that job, I got hit by a car on my fucking bicycle.
God damn.
Yeah, dog, that shit sucked. Ass. My back was shot. Like, so inevitably I started losing a lot of work, or missing a lot of work because of my injury. And because they hired me with the idea that I was inevitably going to be their like manager for that department, I couldn't learn everything in 3 months. I was only really there for a month and a half in my 3 to 6 months that I was there before the dude had to leave. So I wasn't able to get trained, and they just inevitably said, hey, we're going to have to let you go because you can't do the work we need you to do.
God damn, dude, I'm sorry about that.
No, it's cool.
It just seems like a lot of one after another, kinda
yeah,
like, it seems like you're trying your best, and it's just like, well,
life
I don't know.
Me in the nuts, dude.
As your perspective, you're trying your best,
yeah.
As you could say, like your foster mom obviously didn't believe that like you were doing what was needed.
Exactly. So jumping back. So when I moved to the Garden Grove Santa Ana place, let's just say Santa Ana. It's still Santa Ana. Fuck it. When I moved to the out of my foster mom's home, I had the job at Angel Stadium. I had left McDonald's because there was some racial shit. I said fuck it. At that one.
Oh, hey,
I'm sorry.
again.
I'm sorry.
Damien meal, bro. We're looking forward to it.
Okay, no, not. I like Ronald. Honestly, McDonald's is actually one of my favorite restaurants. No, legit.
It's not called a restaurant. Yeah.
It's fast food. Yeah, fast food establishment. But I inevitably left McDonald's, and then I was like, okay, cool. I got it.
So you left McDonald's to the Angel Stadium.
Correct.
So you're out of the house now, and is there any friction still, or are you still going back to see your foster mom?
Oh no, I would go back. No, I lied. For the first 6 months, I was like, fuck that. I'm not going back. Because before I even left, they were already talking shit. Like, you're not gonna go anywhere. Like the whole you have till you were 19, I think it was a threat. I think she would have definitely been like, if I would have waited till I turned 19 or till the date she told me to move out.
And then she could have been like, these are the rules.
Yeah, you can stay and all that other shit.
Go, yeah.
But I called her bluff.
Yeah.
If it was a bluff or not. I just said, fuck it. If that's the way you think, then all right, I'm out. I'm gone. I'm not even going to, nope, I'm out.
And she can't be mad at that because that's kind of like what you taught her, right? Like,
yeah, what I was taught. Yeah,
it's just like mean what you say. And it's like,
yeah,
okay,
exactly. Well, all right,
I'm me to be out, then I'm out. There.
Yeah, I'm out. Like, I'll show you. Like, I'm not being a dumbass. Like, I was always in school. I was always like smart kid. I had good grades all throughout school.
That's awesome.
Throughout school. So again, sometimes being a little too smart for my own good.
Do you think though, like? Okay, so it's obvious that your stepmom held you back. Did you think of school as an option after that still? Or, I mean, because if you're that smart, you got to know that you're going to go somewhere with it, right?
I definitely wanted to. I considered it. A lot of me not going back nowadays is my personal choice. Like, just me not wanting to. Trying to see if I can do it without it. Because I don't know, I'm fucking stubborn as fuck. Old school. Being raised by the old school, right? But early on, when I first moved out, it was just because of my foster mom. Like, I tried to go back.
I understand that, and I know you told us that, but it's just like you're self-aware of these gifts that you're given, right?
Mm-hmm.
So why not put them to something a little bit more like
going to school
was something that you've excelled in, something that you know you're good at, something that you know that maybe you don't like, but you can get through and get like something.
Well,
but so what kept you from actually like
going back
down that path? Is it? I'm sure you were having fun at the time though, right? Because you did have a lot of money. You were living a kind of a pretty decent life, or
I wouldn't say a decent life because I was
okay, maybe not decent, but like Were you out partying? Were you?
Oh no, hell no.
Oh no,
I didn't do all that. I've never been a drinker like that. Like
partying doesn't mean you're drinking.
Oh well, just like
socialize. Like,
yeah, no, I didn't really.
Big groups.
I didn't really fuck with that at first.
Okay.
In high school, kind of like once I like senior year, you know, your senior year, you're kind of done with classes. There's all those events. Like I would fuck with some of the events, like the school events, or if for whatever reason I was able to stay out later with my siblings, my foster siblings, I would go to wherever they would go if they were at a party. Okay, cool. But that was never really my scene. I wasn't with that shit. When it comes to going back to like how my life was at that point, I was just going to work at the stadium, and then when I wasn't at work, I would come home, and either I'd be smoking weed or just playing video games or chilling, and then I would go to work, and then come back, smoke, chill, go to work, smoke, chill. I was just in the whole routine of working. Because from when I moved out till I was 21, I couldn't go back to school because the school needed my foster mom's taxes. Despite me not living there since I was 19, they still needed her tax information for me to be able to get the grants and all the shit to be able to go to school. So yeah, on paper I could have went back to school, but I wouldn't have been able to afford it. All my money would have been going to fucking school, let alone having to pay rent. So I was like, when I moved out, my choice was, okay, either I'm gonna hustle my ass off and just work and focus on that and be able to have a place to live, or I'm gonna try to go back to school, and fuck, I don't know how the fuck that's gonna go. Like I can't guarantee that I can afford it. And then once I turned 21 and was aged out to the point where they were like, okay, we don't need her taxes anymore, you're an actual adult, and they stopped fucking with me, it was like, bro, I still can't fucking afford to go to college. I'm stuck in the like working man's cycle now. I have to go to work. If I don't go to work, I can't pay my bills. If I can't pay my bills, I'm gonna be homeless. I don't want to fucking be homeless. I've seen that too much. That's scary as fuck. Yeah, it's not scary. Something I wouldn't want to wish on anybody. It sucks, dude. I feel so bad for people that have that situation happen to them through no means of their own. Doesn't, and I say that way specifically, so because I know there are some people who just choose to live their life a specific way, and that is something that leads to that. But there are also people who just don't have a home because they couldn't afford it, or some God forbidden accident happened and they lost their home and now they're shit out of luck.
Yeah, that's terrible. I mean, being homeless is obviously a bad thing. Okay, you're out on your own now. You don't want to get so what leads you into this next part, which is you were telling me about you were moved in with two other friends. And there was just some conundrums that were going on with that.
So I was at the place where I first moved out for like 10 years. That was it was okay. It wasn't the best situation, but there was a lot of restrictions. Again, I don't want to pull the race thing, but being the only black man in the area, there, I couldn't really do shit without people watching my ass. My landlord definitely had spies on almost every other house. She knew the person that owned that house and lived there, and had them like calling her like, "Hey, your tenant's over here doing this. Like, why is he over there?" Type of shit, So inevitably, I met my girlfriend that I'm with now. And it was just so difficult for her to even be able to come over and spend the night. Or if I was off work for a week, she couldn't come over. Like, she could only come over for specific times. And it's like, wait a minute. I'm paying you rent. Your rules are, be respectful of the house. You told me specifically I can't have, a bunch of people going inside the actual house. But, I can have my girlfriend use the restroom every so often. So that's cool. But it got to the point where it was like, no, I don't want anybody in my house using the restroom. If they're not paying rent here, they can't use the restroom.
Oh, shit.
And that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, a guy, fuck it, dude. Go pee in the backyard. It's cool. You're a dude. Go pee on the wall. I mean, most dudes would understand. Like, I'd be like, yo, my landlord's a bitch. She's not letting people use the restroom. Can you just go piss in the backyard real quick?
Wow, that sounds terrible.
It sucked, dude. So eventually they were like, dude, we're going to get out of here. And some of the neighbors that I met while I was living there were into the trap life, the weed trap life, like all up in that shit. And I was really cool with them because I was smoking weed. Like that was.
So when you say trap life, like they were working at these trap dispensaries, or they were actually selling weight?
Oh,
of
grow.
They were
selling
growing.
weight.
They were
yeah,
growing.
they were growing weight. And
at their own houses, or
no.
Like
I don't.
They had like.
I don't actually know specifically.
Okay.
But I just, even before I met them specifically, my landlord had already told me, stay away from that house. They're drug dealers. They're bad people. So like.
So it naturally attracted you. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, yeah. I mean, kind of. But again, I'm very self-aware. I was like, bitch, who the fuck are you to tell me some shit? I'll go make sure they're fucking drug dealers. And then, even if they are, if they're not, who gives a fuck? If they're cool people, if they're civilized people, and that's what they need to do to make a living, who the fuck are you to judge them?
Okay. And then, so you go see these people, and then, you go to, and then you.
No, I didn't like walk up to them and like try to.
I'm sure
like,
you befriended them over a certain amount of time. You saw them,
eventually,
every now and then, and you're like, hey, what's up? Right?
Eventually, I met like one of the nephews who was on the neighborhood. Again, being 19, I was like at that age where I was a teenager, and there's kids all over the place. So I just was like talking to people, and one thing led to another. I just came upon the conversation, and I figured it out. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that's true. All right, cool, man. Like, what's up? Like,
so you were trying to get in on it.
I was definitely trying.
Yeah.
I was definitely trying.
So you was obviously trying to make some money.
Oh yeah, because it wasn't so much I want to get rich off of it. It was just fuck, dude, I could possibly make money. Yeah. I have a lot of friends who smoke weed. I have this person who could give me a lot of weed at a reasonable price, and then I could just sell it to my friends and help them. They don't have to go to the fucking dispensary and pay, hella money for an eighth. They could just come to me and pay me the $35 every single fucking time.
Where did this lead? Do you knowing these people were you were actually trapping for them, or?
Not so much. It was more of me just picking up for personal smoke, just because I was 19 living on my own, 19 to 21 living on my own. I didn't have rules. Like, my landlord was pretty cool with me smoking weed because at the time I had my medical card. So it was like, all right, cool. For ADHD, I had got my medical card. I was like, all right, cool. This helps me out a lot, which is, yes, smoke weed. It's healthier than all other drugs.
Okay, so you're picking up from them, and then at what point is there discussion of like you guys actually working together?
Eventually, so at some point I met this dude at a local bar. He was a security guard. He was real cool, and he was like basically a wizard. Yeah. Fucking, and so he was really into like smoking weed. He was like, hey, yeah, dude, I sell like sacks. I slang. If you ever need flour, let me know. And then the people that I knew back where I used to live, they were looking for someone to like run a shop potentially, or a grow, or whatever the fuck. They were trying to figure out how to get into making concentrates like legally and do it legit. Mm-hmm. They just didn't know how to make it. And I was like, oh shit, I know this dude. That's really cool. Like, I'd been talking to the dude for a couple years now, and seeing him at the bar every time when I was Ubering specifically, I got real tight with them. Because whenever I would go out to Uber, I would always go to specific spots to take little pit breaks. And I had been to that bar before I'd been Ubering, and was like, oh, they'll let me chill there. I don't have to buy a beer. I can get a soda, take a piss, and chill until I get my next route. Cool. Sometimes I'd be there for a couple hours because I wouldn't get a route.
So how did it end up turning out? Like, you guys, so you meet one guy and he introduces you to another guy?
No, so
I'm a little confused too. Is like, are these people that you met from the neighborhood, or are these people that you met from the bar?
So the guy that when you said the people that I moved out with after that place, that's the dude from the bar. The people that I knew by where I lived and who had the weight and were dealing with grows and shit, they were the
people you bought from.
Yeah, those were the people I was picking up from at the time.
Like,
if I wasn't
like
going to the dispensary. At the
okay.
time. Like, I mean, I was still going to the dispensary. It just depended on.
Okay, so you were.
My bad.
Okay, no. I'm trying to like I'm trying to like put these timelines together.
Yeah,
My
I
bad.
jumped everywhere. I do that.
No, it's okay. So you're picking up from the security guard at this bar. No, you're picking up from the guys across that live in the same neighborhood as you.
Yeah, it's me.
And then you're selling to their, and then you and the friend from the bar are actually going out and selling it to people.
No. I was selling it to my friends for the most part. I was
Okay.
slaying it on the side at first.
So who is this guy in the bar? What does he have to do with all this?
The guy in the bar. So, inevitably, the initial people were talking about making concentrates. So I had that in my mind. That was just
the people from the neighborhood.
Yeah,
Okay.
people from the neighborhood.
Okay.
And fucking eventually I just kept that in my mind. And then one day I talked to the dude at the security guard, and he was like real knowledgeable about it and was telling me like, hey bro, if you ever need a cartridge, I can make a cartridge. Like, I know how to make the distillant. It's just like some vegetable oil and some, terpenes and this other shit. You shake it up, you put it in the cartridge, you're good to go.
Okay.
And I Googled it and was like, I think this
pretty
fool's full of
legit.
shit. Yeah, I was
No.
like, yeah, no, this is. I was like, yeah, all right, he knows his shit.
And then so you and him were like, okay, we're gonna buy all this flour from these guys and we're gonna make concentrate out of it, and then you guys are gonna sell that.
No, eventually I introduced the security guard homie to the people that lived in the neighborhood.
Okay.
Like, as a, hey bro, this fool's a cool person and he's really smart with concentrates. If you guys really are trying to do it, that's the person you're gonna want to talk to start it. Like,
Okay.
he knows what he's talking about. And so eventually they started hanging out, and then they were really cool. He was where he lived at. His like dad had moved back to Florida, and the place he lived at was like kicking him out because this was during COVID, right when COVID hit. He was in Arizona visiting family, and the people, his house, like his landlord was like, all right, we need you to vacate the property and do it soon. Like, we're going to move all your
Who's
shit.
Who's vacating what property? What are you talking about?
Him, the security guard. The security guard got kicked out of his house.
Okay.
So...
And then, so he got kicked out of his house. He's vacating the property. What happens after that? Is that when you're like, he comes up to you and is like, hey, like, let's move in together?
Basically.
Okay.
At this point, I'm still living over here by the Santa Ana place. And he was like, hey, our homie down the street had let me stay there for a little while. And he told me he has a property that he's willing to rent us. This would be way better than where you're living at now. You don't have to be like a fucking prisoner where there's all these rules. You can't have your girlfriend sleep over whenever the fuck you want. Like, anybody can use the restroom if you want. Like, there's no drama, no bullshit.
Okay, and then so you, him, and then another friend.
Yeah, one other person.
Okay.
One of his buddies from the military. So he was in the military.
Okay.
He was in the military and then eventually got cancer. He was a cancer survivor.
Oh wow.
And got discharged. And then his buddy was also in the same, I don't even know the proper word for it, but platoon or whatever the fuck for injured soldiers.
Okay.
So he also was getting discharged. So they were like real tight. So while he was going through like his chemo and shit, this was the dude taking care of him. So they were living together at the time. That's why he was in Arizona. He was trying to talk to his boy like, hey, he had just got out the military. Hey, dog, come live in California. It's real tight down here. And then got kicked the fuck out of his place.
And then, so you guys moved to that property.
We moved to a different property. And eventually we were really, like, trying to hustle. Like, I was working. So, like I said, I had left. We'll jump back a little bit. I was working at the Angel Stadium. I had left the stadium to go work at a label company. Got hit. Lost the job. Inevitably... I couldn't find another job. It was right when COVID hit. It took me a while, and then I eventually got the job for, what was it? It was for Whedon. Yeah. Okay. After I lost the factory job, and Whedon was cool for a little while, but then COVID got really bad, and they were like, "Nah, we need you to leave." So this was after I had just moved out. So the reason why I had moved out because I had the Whedon job. I was supposed to be a full-time delivery job with tips and all that other shit.
Was that guy mad that you like? So he was obviously dealing with those other people. Was he mad that you were
Not.
So he was doing the concentrates for those people, right?
Yeah. Eventually.
Was he mad that you had gotten a full-time job somewhere
No.
else?
Hell no. It was just like, hey, dude, whatever. This is what we need to do to pay the rent and do all that shit. As long as we pay the rent, it's cool.
Okay.
Like, they were down. They didn't really need me. It was just, hey, if you want to make some money, this is what you can do. So.
Okay. Yeah. So I think we're just jumping. Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm just like confused. I'm trying to get like on track.
No, you're good.
So I don't know if it's just because I'm still a little high or like I'm telling you, bro. Like I'm sensitive to that stuff.
Okay.
I'm a drink. Like when you say like you're a smoker, I'm a drinker.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So I can do this podcast probably fucked up completely, like drunk.
Okay.
Yeah, but
hey, let's test it. I got some Tito's.
Nah,
I'm gonna grab the Tito's, dog.
Nah,
yeah,
know,
definitely don't do that shit.
For sure, though. If I can, But anyways, so
ooh, we can do a couples podcast, dog. When my girl's back, you can bring Victoria. We'll do a couples podcast. See how that goes. I guarantee that shit'll go good.
Yeah. Well,
maybe not good for us, but it'll be good for the viewers, dog.
Well, yeah, we'll see. We'll put something together, bro. I got shit in the works.
Nah, I feel you.
But anyways, so you're okay. So you jump back and you said Whedon. You got a full-time job at Whedon, and you said you had just moved out of that house. They were.
Yeah, the first from Santa Ana to living with my now.
So when you got the Whedon job, you just moved out of here.
I had
out
just
of Santa Ana.
Yeah, okay. I had just moved out of Santa Ana into Garden Grove. Now I'm living in Garden Grove. That's where I moved out, with the homie's house.
Okay.
You know, my friend, which is the new landlord. That's where I moved to his house in Garden Grove, and at that point.
And then you're living with him, and like how long? Can you give us like a timeline of like how long you're living there for? So you started Whedon about a year. You were in Whedon like a year and a half ago, right? A year ago?
In 2000, yeah, something like that.
About a year ago.
Yeah, about a year ago.
So you had just, and then when did you move into that house? Right after this. So how long ago did you actually move out of that house?
From the Santa Ana house
to the Garden Grove house.
To the Garden Grove house, and then.
Well, how long ago was that? When did you actually move? What year?
In 2019. Like early 2019.
Okay, so 2019 to what? 2020.
Yeah, 2020.
Right. That's when you got the Whedon job.
Yeah, correct.
So what happened to where you had to move out because you're not living there anymore?
Oh yeah, so after
again, you don't have to incriminate anyone. Don't have to say any names.
Nah,
just
I mean I probably already fucked up, but we're good. So after the Whedon job, wait, no, damn dog. I guess I'm sensitive too. I fucked up the timeline. So when I moved out of the Santa Ana house to Garden Grove, I was hustling. We were making slabs for the people.
Okay.
That was going for a little while, but then, like I said before, I'd been with my girlfriend. She wanted to move in, so I had moved her in, and she had kind of talked to me into like, that's not really the life you should be in, and I already kind of knew it. And I was looking for a way out. So I was like,
making good money though at the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, at least I didn't really have to worry about shit.
Okay.
Like bills were paid as long as we, went to work every day and our shift was covered. We didn't have to worry about rent.
Okay.
Whatever money we made, that was like pocket money. Okay. So it was like, all right, cool. But, on the off chance some shit happened, I had to worry about the cops. Like I had to worry about the cops raiding the place. I had to worry about like, oh man, like, am I gonna get in trouble for this shit, or am I gonna be good? So I inevitably was like, nah, I want to get a legal job. So went to Whedon, lost Whedon's job because of COVID.
Hold on, are you still at the house?
Oh yes. So I lost what happened. So while I'm still living at the house. Then I get my girlfriend talks me into like getting a good job. So I got the job at Whedon because Victoria was like, hey, they're hiring drivers.
Victoria is my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay.
My bad. My bad.
No.
I wasn't sure if I was supposed to say their name.
Well, just to know I think I talked about her on podcast before, but just to make sure that people know.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So Victoria, his girlfriend, hooked me up with the job.
I own her. Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. Cut that out. Yeah.
She's not gonna like that,
Cut
man.
that out. No, I know I know,
Nah,
bro. Yeah.
it's all good.
She's gonna have to deal with it. But I'm just kidding.
Nah, you're straight. You're good, dog.
Just don't tell her that.
Nah, you're good, dog. You're good. No
cut
worries.
that out.
I'm gonna say shit. She's already probably watching. She's gonna watch that shit as soon as it comes out and be like,
I'm sending it straight to her as is. Yeah.
She's gonna be on my ass
Why?
looking for making sure I didn't say anything stupid.
Like what?
Just clowning her. Like,
oh, okay.
you know she can't fucking rap, dog.
It's just not bad.
Yeah, nah, she's not. Nah, honestly,
She's not better.
Even as tangent as it is, Victoria can drop bars.
Yeah.
But Victoria got me the job at Whedon.
Oh.
I lost the job, and we were still doing the fucking slab thing, and eventually that got old. Like one of the shops got raided, so they were like, "Nah, we're not gonna do that anymore. We'll just slang." And so the homie took it upon himself to make some sideways shady deal with some people and accept way more work than what he could have handled. And then when it came time to pay the fucking money, he didn't have the fucking money because he went to the casino and lost all that shit.
Dude.
So the homies pull up on the crib. Like, I guess this is a couple weeks now. A couple weeks are going by. They're trying to find this fool. I'm like, hey, bro, what the fuck? He finally comes to the crib, and they pull up. They pull up at the crib, and they're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, they're ready to fuck him up. And I hear the commotion because I'm in my room. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? I'm chilling with my girl. I go to see, and I'm like, oh, shit. So, mind you, I was the one that introduced the security guard
to the people.
With. So I'm
responsible.
Well, not even responsible. At least
the way they think things out here, right? Like
yeah. At least in my mind,
yeah.
I don't want to say it like this, but they were my friends first.
Exactly.
So I'm more covered than anybody. Like as long as
I
didn't fuck up,
yeah,
we're good.
Okay.
As long as they know I didn't fuck up, we're good. And see, like I said, they had already been looking for him for a while, so they had already noticed inconsistencies in his stories and what he was telling them about where money was at. Okay. They had already been drilling me and the other dude, like, hey, bro, what's up? What do you guys know? Like, mind you, we had no idea what he was doing. So they're hitting us with questions to see if we would spill information, but not being let in on them knowing. But they found out that we didn't know. So they were like, all right, cool. We're going to pull up. It's just this fool. This fool's fucking up the money. We're going to go deal with this shit.
Okay.
And so they pull up to the house. I go outside. I see them. I'm like, yo, what's up, dog? Hey, babe. Like, specifically out loud. Hey, babe. I'll be right back. And then close my door. Like, in my mind, I did it specifically so they know, okay, the Negro's here. His girl's here. Let's not get a little too outlandish to where, you know, there's something that we can't control. That was in my mind, I did that and said that so that they, on the off chance it was going to get really violent, it would bring them back down to, okay, wait, there's maybe more witnesses around.
Yeah,
so let me not fuck up
Yeah.
as much. Let's keep it a little more. We'll
Yeah,
just beat his ass and
There's
walk
some
away.
witnesses. Yeah, okay. So they're like drilling you on this stuff, and then what happened? And you can't like go to the police because it's like, oh shit, like we're doing illegal shit too.
Yeah, and it wasn't like, I mean, I didn't really have no issue with the people. They, like I said, they had already asked me. They knew who I was.
So what did they like tell you? Like they like pressed you, I'm sure. Like, hey, where the fuck is this guy? We need to find him. Or like you need to find him. Or like, hey, we're gonna fuck you up if you don't.
Nah. At first, it was just, hey, have you heard from so and so?
Mm-hmm.
Like, nah, man, I haven't heard from him. He's down south, like
down south, like
East Coast South.
Oh, okay. So he's like
out of state. He's out of state.
He just said
family.
that, or
he was. He was
okay.
really like they knew, like they know his family. Like I swear to God, the only reason why this man didn't die is because they were cool as fuck with his family.
Oh, really? No shit.
For show, like for real. Like he only didn't die because he was cool. Like I did it right. I introduced them the right way, and inevitably, You know,
They got really cool.
They got real tight, and
so with the money, did they just forget it? I'm sure they just didn't
fuck
forget
no.
it.
They made
right?
that fool work that shit off.
Yeah.
We all inevitably had to work it off and just not get paid at all. But what ended up happening was when we found out, like, so they're drilling me and the other guy, and we're like, dog, we don't know.
Okay.
Like, we have no idea where he's at, why, what's going on.
Okay, and then he comes back.
He comes back. No, so they inevitably tell us, okay, this fool did X, Y, and Z. This is why we're looking for him. What the fuck? Like, there's a lot of money fucked up now.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and we're like, oh shit. So we're trying to get in touch with him. He's still fucking lying to us. He won't tell us what he actually did with the money.
Okay.
And so he comes back, and they're again asking us questions. Hey, what the fuck? Still not telling us the truth, so we don't know. We're like, dog, we don't fucking know.
Yeah, you know about as much as us.
Yeah, I'm telling you, like, dog, I'm telling you. If you put me in this position,
so he
to
finally
kind of
like confessed it. Was like, oh, dude,
eventually, yeah. But they had like rushed his ass. Like, they came to the house and was ready to fuck his ass up.
Oh, okay. And
he was just not having it. I mean, I wouldn't say he was not having it because
it didn't matter if he wasn't having it.
Nah, he was just like, fuck, like, it's not all daisies and sugar. It's not all cool. Yeah, I have to. And it's fucked up because the people told him from the beginning, dog, just tell us what you did with the money. We'll fix the problem. The only reason why it escalated to that point
is because he kept lying.
Because he kept fucking lying about it. So that shit went down. Mind you, my girl, the other dude's girl are both there. We were just chilling at our crib when they showed up. So they got freaked the fuck out. So my girl was like, we need to move the fuck out ASAP.
Okay.
So the first dude, he's tighter with the security guard than I am because they met. They were close homies, you know? So he was like, bro, like, what the fuck? Like, not telling Justyn, that's one thing. But I'm supposed to be your brother, dog. Yeah. Like, and not to like belittle me or anything like that. But like, he's like,
okay, so that happened. So like, yeah, he's obviously pissed about that.
Mm-hmm.
Does it and it obviously causes friction between you guys? Does anything happen?
I mean, nothing physical between us. It was just more of a yelling at this nigga, like, bro.
Okay, well, that's not too bad.
Yeah, no. Like, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to lie. Like, at one point, I was ready to fight some people. Like, fight him and one of his new little friends that I have, like, my own little discretions with. But, you know, like, I'm not, like I said, I'm not a person. I don't get mad like that.
Yeah.
So when they saw me get mad, they were like, oh, shit, this nigga's pissed. He is really pissed, and we need to evaluate what the fuck's going on.
And then, so that brought you to moving out. And where did you move out? And then you're at the place you are now?
Yeah, I'm at where I'm at now. So the wizard, not the security wizard, but the wizard I told you about before the podcast.
Okay.
That dude, his girlfriend had a place. And the front tenants the big house where she lived, those people were moving out. And she figured that her and her boyfriend could cover the front house, and that would be a thing. So the wizard moved out and lived with his girlfriend in the room that we're in now.
Okay.
The front tenants moved out, so they moved to the front house, and they were like, hey, we have 2 people that are looking for a new place. You don't have to look for new tenants. They're already there. They're cool people. We'll vouch for them. And so me and my girl came in. They basically got us this place. So we just swapped houses, basically.
Wow. And then when you got let go from Whedon, because it was actually downsizing, right?
Oh, yeah. They were downsizing.
So before Ease was Whedon, before Whedon was Ease, we actually downsized and got rid of the delivery department. So Justyn didn't get fired.
Yeah, no, I didn't get fired.
Justyn got let go.
I'm sorry.
Not even furloughed. He got let go, laid off.
Yeah.
Is the correct term. And then you ended up getting a job at Planet 13, right?
Oh, yeah. So after I got let go at Whedon, I got a job at Planet 13 doing delivery. It was actually, I will say, or I like to think that the fact that I worked at Whedon got me the job at Planet 13.
Wow, really?
Because, I mean, obviously, I did a good job. I try to do a good job at everything I do. But Planet 13 coming down to California the way they did, they were looking to snake all their competition. So all the dispensaries that had like furloughed or let go of all their employees, shit,
just
yeah,
bringing them in.
oh, convenient. We're about to open in 3 or 4 months. You looking for a job, bro? We can help you out. So you know,
crazy.
we didn't lost one of their, but yeah, at least the way I saw it, one of their top drivers, and the Planet looked at the stats and was like, yeah, we'd definitely like you to join us. And I joined it. It's been an interesting experience, to say the least.
Yeah. Another story I want to hear is, were you there when the fucking the shit got locked down? And then, okay, so I'm gonna give some backstory. So,
Yeah,
this happened at our shop too.
Enlighten them, dog. Let them know.
This happened at our shop too. So, there's a scam that's actually going around where people from wherever they're calling from. It happened at Whedon too. Someone called the security guards, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh no, you tell your story. I'll tell mine. Mine's a little different.
I'm gonna because this happened. We didn't happen after, but I wanted him to get to his because I know it was like way more intense. But what happened at our shop was this: one of our leads actually, they called. So someone called. I was actually there that day. I was on the phone with them. I was there. I got on the phone with them, and there was these fools who were just like, "Hey, we need you to do stuff for us, or we need to speak to someone in charge." So me being a normal worker, I'm like, I'm not gonna deal with this. Hey, so and so, can you do this? So and so gets on the phone, and they're telling her to go back and forth between the manager's office, and the manager's office, I mind you, is where we keep all the money.
Mm-hmm.
When we keep all the money there, and she's taking money out. I don't know what's going on. I'm just sitting in the front desk. I mean, it's like camera footage of me just sitting there, like looking at her. And then just looking back at exactly what I'm doing. So
oblivious. Oblivious. Just like, exactly. All right, cool, you know?
Exactly. I'm not, there's probably something going on, you know.
It's above my pay grade.
If they had told someone, we probably could have been like, hey, don't do that. But, you know, it's not her fault. You know, they didn't know any better. So what had happened was they had took $2,000. They had took some money from the office. And I don't even know if we could speak on this on here. Is that? Oh, I'll cut it out. I'm going to look more into it, and we'll cut it out after if we can.
If anything, yeah. I was going to say. And actually, as I think about it, I don't think.
I just feel bad for the person because they might listen to the podcast. And
well,
totally.
Yeah.
Like, not
yeah,
being
look,
that. Yeah.
Look, I think it's public information.
Yeah, okay.
It's public information because you heard of ours. You heard about ours, right?
Yeah.
Where'd you, I mean, I don't want to
Okay. So
you're
going to go next. And then, so they had taken $2,000 or some amount of money. It was like 15 to 25.
Yeah, something like that.
They had took it to a Bitcoin account. They had given them a location and everything, and they had taken it to a Bitcoin account, which Bitcoin account you can't track unless you're Bitcoin because you can't get on the blockchain, you know. And we'll talk about this in Across the Room next, where we're gonna get more into crypto and stuff like that.
Can I listen in on that? I need to learn learn how to not lose.
I got you. And then so basically then the cops came and all that. They were unfortunately they were let go, but like that's basically what happened, and it was like a big deal. Obviously, it wasn't that much amount of money, you know, nothing something we could have came back from.
Yeah.
But I had heard that it had happened at Planet 13, and there was like they were putting money through a window or something like that.
Nah.
Go ahead and tell. Yeah.
Okay, so before what would be the proper term? Warning, this may not be elaborate because I definitely wasn't there that day. I worked morning shift, so this happened at night.
Okay.
But from what I was told, there was a situation where someone had called or texted our what were the proper terms, sales floor manager at the time, from our work chat, and was like, hey, this is the GM. I need you to go to the vault and take this much amount of money out of the vault and meet me here. And for whatever reason, these motherfuckers didn't like think of it as a red flag and just proceeded to try to go take the money out of the vault. But security was like on their ass. They were like watching it because they're when they first opened, they were real on point with security. So the security's watching every room, everywhere where there's product and money all the time. And they saw it. As soon as they saw them grab money and walk anywhere out of the, out of the money room, they instantly stopped them and asked them what the fuck was going on. And they were like, hey, this is, they showed them the message and was like, this is what our GM said. And they were like, wait a minute. And they reached out to the GM, and the GM was like, bitch, I'm asleep. The fuck? I didn't send that shit. So they locked down the whole fucking store for like a couple hours, and they didn't tell anybody what was going on until after the fact. But they were like, yeah, we got hacked. Someone got into our work like messenger, and basically was like, yeah, I'm the GM, bring the money to this location. And they were about to fucking do it, dude. Like, fucking idiots.
Wow, because that is totally different from what I heard.
The people that did it were cool as fuck. They inevitably also got let go.
Okay. Well, because like you can't.
No, that's fuck. You can't. You can't.
Think, you gotta be a little bit more. Yeah, you gotta have a little more thought when you're.
Exactly. So they inevitably got let go, but dog, that shit, when that happened, it was weird. But pretty recently, we lost our catalytic converters. Someone pulled up to our shop and stole all 6 of our catalytic converters in like under 8 minutes.
Under 8 minutes, you hear that, guys?
Yeah. 6 of them, dude. Like, real quick. And we had security, but security couldn't really do anything because it was like, I think it was like in the middle of the night, like early morning. They couldn't really do shit because it was like outnumbered. They had like 2 cars that pulled up and then just ran through it. Damn. Done.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So Planet 13, you get your shit together. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
It sounds like your shit's together, but it's not all the way together, though.
Not so.
Because I don't know, bro. It's just you're not. I don't know. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's 2 in 1 year, dude. When you just opened, it's not looking too great. For
yeah. No, that's definitely not good. It's. I'm hoping for the best.
Preparing for the worst.
Yeah, but definitely preparing for the worst. But yeah, no, that shit was crazy.
Shit is crazy.
I've at least survived. I can at least say I've survived 4 Planet 13 purges.
Oh, there's 2.
Huh?
There's 2 more.
No, purges.
Like they just get rid of people, right?
Oh no, dude. There was so many people got fired, bro.
For that instance?
Oh no, not for that instance. Just in general.
Because sales are lower than
just because they were expecting to come down here and
tear everyone up.
And tear everyone up. But I think the Vegas state of mind is biting them in the butt. I don't think I'll get fired for saying it because all my managers say the same shit. Like, Doug, they came down here and had all the hype in the world you could have as a dispensary, and then just their prices were fucked.
This podcast is gonna be released on Thursday, so I'm gonna send it to you, and then like any type of like how you feel about any of it, re-listen to it, whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And I can get rid of it or whatnot. You know,
that's cool, dog. Send it, send it, dog.
Because I don't want you to like say some shit and be like, "Oh, okay, we're not gonna." Yeah.
Nah, I mean, and even
well,
still,
a lot
like,
of what you said is not incriminating, but
yeah,
it's not, and I don't even think it looks bad on them because this is shit that happened.
Yeah, it's some shit that happened.
So, but just in case you feel uncomfortable or anything.
Nah,
like that.
I don't think they're doing their due diligence to take care of the problem. So I can't say anything on that part.
Okay.
At least on the podcast.
We've been going for about an hour and a half. Is there anything else you wanted to cover or talk about or anything like that? Or?
I mean, shit, dog, I can talk all day. What else you want to know? I mean, I've been on tangents, dude. I'm on tangents. So whatever you would like, if you got time.
Well, we've been going for about an hour and a half, and I think that's about it. I'm pretty good on what we got. Obviously for the first meetup.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Definitely see more coming. But yeah, thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it.
No, I appreciate
thanks
you.
for telling us your story overall, because like I know some, especially yours in itself is like, I don't know how you felt about telling it. I'm pretty sure you seem pretty open with letting people know what's going on. But I really appreciate you letting us know like what it is like actually going through like a foster home and foster care, because like a lot of people out there, I would have never known. I've never met any. I haven't even met people who actually been through it. So
that's honestly, you're not the first person to say that to me.
Yeah.
Like there's actually a lot of people who say that to me, and I definitely don't want people to be turned off to what I said, because I know for a fact my foster siblings' situations and feelings of that situation is completely different from mine.
Exactly.
But that's just because of my situation.
It's all perspective.
Yeah, it's my perspective and what I went through and what I experienced. But I wouldn't knock it. I wouldn't knock it. Again, I try to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. If someone's actually going to try it, it might really help out somebody, because kids need help.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely take into consideration what you're getting yourself into if you are, as a listener, considering that route, and how you're going to go about it. Because just because you think you're going to give the kid all the love and show them that you're their parent and all that good stuff, that doesn't mean that the kid's gonna take that well. Like myself, they may know, oh man, I know who my family is. Like, they're just trying, and they may not feel the right way. So you definitely have to be prepared for all the good and bad that comes with it. Because some kids just are grateful for the opportunity, but some kids, because of what happened to them, have that chip on their shoulder, and you just have to have the patience to deal with it and show them that you care. And just not all foster parents or people that want to get into that field are aware of that. Because when it's your kid, as bad as it is, you kind of got to deal with it. It's your kid. You know, you love your kid. You're going to love your kid no matter what. Mm-hmm. But as soon as it's not your blood, that shit changes, dude. I don't care what anybody says. It's bad. I wish it wasn't. And I try to treat my friends, because I don't have like a blood family anymore. My maybe part two, my aunt recently passed away. Like, I lost my only other blood relative. And
I'm sorry, man.
No, that's cool. Again, life happens, man. And it definitely helped guide me to the person that I am today. I know I may not be the perfect person, but I definitely think I have a good head on my shoulders, and I try to do, what's right to an extent.
Yeah, and I appreciate you coming on here and telling us your story, because like it can be relatable to someone out there who has gone through the same thing. And and honestly, dude, thanks for being so optimistic and so it's not what do you call it?
Revengeful, hateful
towards
like the world. Yeah, no, I feel you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like you seem like you genuinely seem like you feel like yeah, you did wrong, but like at least you're at this point where you're like, hey, well, it's on to the next one.
See,
and we can all appreciate that, because like no one likes someone who's sitting there dwelling on the past, because it only just creates more problems.
And let me elaborate so nobody thinks like or I'm perfect, because I'm human. Nobody's perfect. I definitely did go through that. Yeah. I definitely did go through that stage where I was just super chip on my shoulder, super mad at the world. But it just took me finding the right friends and having the right people around me, and having the right situations happen or the wrong situations happen that opened my eyes to be like, fuck, dude, maybe it's not really worth it, dog. Like, you could still be there, or you could still be in that situation, or it could have been worse.
Exactly.
And I was like, all right, cool, fuck it. Let's just roll with the punches and see what we can produce from the cards I was dealt.
And that's cool too, because I got the across the room, which just when you guys are hearing this, it's gonna be Thursday, but it aired Tuesday. It had a lot to deal with mental health.
I was listening to
people who have gone through that, and then we had a guy from the military on there, and about how we deal with mental health, and it honestly shows that like you've been through a lot, but you've obviously dealt with it. It's okay to have that anger and that frustration, but it's not okay to have it all the time. But it's okay to feel that way and let it out somehow and cope with it.
Oh yeah, I wanted to touch on that. Like, if you are going through that in your life, you need help. No one can deal with that stuff on their own. It took me 10 plus years to finally come to terms with losing my mom, and not like with everything that happened. It took so much time till almost the time I moved into the last house that I was at. Right before I moved in with the security guard dude. Like right before that, I was still like spicy about shit. So if you are going through anything, talk to somebody. You never know, like they could be going through the same shit and just not want to talk about it, and they're waiting or scared to talk about it because of whatever reason, whatever their reasoning is. So if you're going through it, reach out to people. You need people. We need each other to help and get through stuff.
Yeah. That's very insightful, and we
Mhm.
appreciate you coming on and telling us your story.
Thank you.
If it doesn't help, if it doesn't, I mean, yeah, it doesn't help one person, but it's gonna help someone who actually listens to this.
Hopefully.
And I appreciate you coming on and telling and being open about it.
Nah, man, I appreciate the
Thanks for
invite.
being on,
Thank
and,
you for coming to my place.
No problem, and many more to come.
Yep.
Maybe not on this podcast, but we'll definitely have you on something else.
Oh, definitely.
Okay? I appreciate it. Signing off. This is Damien.
Justyn.
All right.